Hello everyone, Creative Venus here and welcome to another beautiful tutorial. And today we will learn how to use gradients in Microsoft PowerPoint. So many of you were asking this question like how to use gradients or how to fill gradient colors in shapes to make the design look more beautiful. So in today's video we will learn the following three things like what are the types of gradients, how to use different angles, and what are the major gradient adjustments that you can do. Before starting the tutorial, I would request you to please subscribe to our channel, join the membership, hit like, share this video with your friends. Also, you can let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now the first thing that we will learn is two colors gradient. So what are two colors gradient? Here what you can see is I have placed different types of shapes here, and what I'll do is I'll fill two colors gradient, and it will really help you to understand how the gradient will look in each of these shapes. So let's start with this rounded rectangle. First click on the rounded rectangle, go to the shape options. So here are two options, shape options and text options. So both look similar, but as we have selected the shape, so you have to go to this shape options, then go to this fill, and you have to select gradient fill. So right now by default it has filled my existing gradient that I had created. So this is how the two stops gradient looks like. So here are two stops, one is at the beginning and here the second stop is at the end. So what we can do is select the first gradient stop, you have to click on it, then here is the color, go to color, fill the color you want. For example, let's pick this color, and now click on the second gradient and let's fill a different color here, for example this. So now you can see we have filled two colors gradient here. You can also adjust the transparency levels of each of these stops. In order to do that, you have to select the first gradient stop, then you have to move the transparency slider here to change the transparency level, and you can see the effect on the shape. Similarly, you can change the transparency level of the second gradient stop, and you can move this slider to see the effect here. But we want the transparency to be 0% at the moment. Now let's fill the same gradient color on all these shapes to see the impact. So I'm using here format painter option. Now what we will do is we will learn the second thing, that is gradient angle. So how you can change the gradient angle? So we have selected all these shapes and here you can see the angle. Now what you can do is you can either decrease or increase the angle. So let's first increase the angle. Currently it is sitting at 90 degrees. So let's change the angle and you will see the impact. And you can see how the color is changing. So that's what you can do. You can change the angle to see how you can use the gradient in your shapes. So next thing that we want to do here is the direction. So there are some pre-built angles as well. You have to select the direction here and select one of these, and you can see how the color is flowing. It is diagonal, it is top to bottom, then left to right. So you can select the one you want here. So we have covered the two colors gradient. I hope you have completely understood like how to use two colors gradient. You can fill the two colors in it, then you can change the direction, and this is how it will look. For example, if this is the shape and you want the gradient to flow from left to right, you can change the direction here like this one, You can keep the blue on the left and green on the right, or you can select this one to keep green on the left and blue on the right. You can also do the same thing with the help of these sliders. Move the gradient stops and you can see the output here. Again, you can do it like this. So you can see the output here. Now the next thing, which is very important, select all these shapes and you can adjust the starting point of the color. For example, you can move this gradient to start from the center of the shape like this, and you can move this one as well to move towards the center of the shape. So this is how you can adjust the gradients. So you can see we have learned the first type of gradient, that is two colors gradient. Second is the angle, and third is the gradient adjustments. So the type of gradient that we have used here is called linear gradient. It's linear. So here you can see the type is linear. So this is the linear two colors gradient. Next we will learn the linear type three colors gradient, where we will fill three colors in the shapes. So what we have to do is select the first shape, go to gradient fill, and you can see we have filled two colors. Now we will add one more color here. Select this gradient path and click anywhere on this path, and a third stop will appear. So it will be called the second stop, and this is the third stop. First, second and third. So now we have to change the color of this second stop here. For example, let's fill a totally different color so that you can easily see it in the shape. So for example, we have filled this color. So now you can see in our shape we have three colors. So now let's fill the same color in all the shapes to see the output, how it behaves in each shape. Select all the shapes. Now we will play with the angle here. So let's first fill this one, so it will look like this in all the shapes. So this is the diagonal. Now let's use linear down. So this is the linear type of gradient, and this is how it will look. Now use left to right, green on the left, red in the center, and blue on the right. And now use the right to left like this one, and you can see the effect here. So that's how you can change the output here. Also you can move the gradient stops in this gradient path to change the output here like this. By doing this, you can adjust according to the shape and the output you want. For example, if you want to showcase or divide the shape in two parts to show some information left and right, so you can do something like this. On the left side you can show some information, and on the right you can show some output. So that's how you can do using the linear gradient with three colors gradient. So let's select the first shape here, go to gradient fill. So here is our three colors gradient. Now what we will do is we will add one more gradient stop here. You can click anywhere on this gradient path, like let's click here, and now we have one more gradient stop. Now we will change its color. So let's pick something like this color. Now you can see we have 4 colors in this shape. One more thing you can do is you can change the position of this gradient stops by using the position option here. You can select this gradient and move it to like 33%, then move it to like 66%, and this one is at 100%. So all these are almost equally distributed. Now let's fill the same color in all the shapes. Now let's see how each shape behaves with this same gradient color. We will change the angle. So what I have told you is you can change the angle by selecting this angle option here, or you can choose the direction from the direction option. So these are pre-built angles, or you can use custom angles. So let's use the pre-built direction option here. So we have used the diagonal option here. Let's use the linear down. So this is how it will look. Let's use the linear up, left to right, right to left. Also you can move the gradient stops to customize it like this. If you want to keep blue on the left, closer to the red, so that's how you can do it. Or if you want to highlight green more in the shape, you can do something like this. So that's how you can experiment with the gradients here, and you can see the output. So every output is different, and you can select the one you want as per the design you are creating. So till now we have covered 2 colors gradient, 3 colors gradient, and the 4 colors gradient, and all of these 3 are linear type gradient. The next we will learn is metallic gradient. In the metallic gradient, what we will do is we will fill the gradient in a way that the shape will have metallic look and feel. So in the metallic gradient, what we will do is we will use 6 gradient stops. For that, let's select the first shape like this, go to gradient fill, and now we have 4 gradient stops here. We need 2 more like this. So in order to create a metallic gradient, what you have to do is select the first gradient stop, fill a light color like this white background one, darker 5%. So we can use this one. On the second gradient stop, fill a darker color like 35% darker, this one. On the third gradient stop, again fill the 5% darker white color. On the fourth gradient stop, again the same color. On the fifth gradient stop, 35% darker. On the sixth gradient stop, again the 5% darker. And now you can see it looks like some metallic strip here. Now fill the same color on all the shapes. For that we will use this format painter option. You have to double click it in order to fill it in all the shapes like this. Now select all these shapes and let's change the angles here. So this is how the gradient will behave on different angles. So it's looking really beautiful, and you can change it according to the output you need. In the metallic gradient, you can also use some colors as well. For example, let's select this circle, and instead of 35% darker white, let's use 25% darker blue. and use the same on the fifth gradient stop. On the third and the fourth gradient stop, use 80% lighter blue. And you can see the output. The formula is same. You have to use 6 gradient stops. Light color, dark, light, light, dark, and light. And now you can change the colors, and the gradient type will be linear, look and feel will be metallic, and the output will be as per the colors you have selected. Next comes the radial gradients. So radial, as the name suggests, will be the circular gradient. The look and feel will be circular in nature. So let's try it. Select the first shape, go to gradient fill, and remove the gradients here. We want only 2 colors. On the first stop, let's fill this color, and on the second, let's use this color. So we have now so now we have a gradient fill with 2 colors here. So we have to change the gradient type here from linear to radial. Go to the direction here, and here are 5 options. So you can see the curve here from bottom right corner, it's from bottom left corner like this. Third is the radial finish from the center like this. Fourth is towards the top right, and the fifth one is from the top left. So that's how you can do it. Let's fill the same in all the shapes to see how it behaves. Now select all the shapes, and now let's experiment with the gradient finish here and see how it behaves. So this is how it will look. So we have used the top left corner radial gradient. Let's use this one. So this will behave like this. Let's use the center one. So the output will be like this. Let's fill the bottom left corner here, and you can see the output. And if you select the bottom right corner, the output will be like this. Now let's do one more thing. Add one more gradient stop just for fun. And let's use this color. And now let's change the direction. First one, second one, third will be the center like this. Fourth one will be like this, and the fifth one will be like this. So there is so much you can do with the help of gradient colors. You can bring so much life into the shapes using these amazing colors, especially with this gradient finish and the types of gradient. I'm pretty sure till now you have used only linear gradients, but trust me, if you'll use the gradient colors, the shapes will look much more beautiful and really amazing. But that also depends upon the type of design you are creating. So now let's learn the rectangular gradients. So as you have learned the radial gradients, rectangular gradients are also similar. As the name suggests, the gradient will be of rectangular shape. So let's select the first shape, fill gradient color, and change the gradient type from radial to rectangular. And you can see the rectangular finish here. Now fill the same color on all the shapes. So I filled the same color in all the shapes and select all the shapes. Let's play with the direction here. The first direction, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and this is the last one. So you can move the gradient stops to get the best output. Also you can remove the gradient stop if you don't want it, and then it will look like this and it looks really beautiful. You can move the gradient stop to get the best output. So radial and rectangular gradients are almost similar, and next comes the path gradient. So as the name suggests, it follows the shape's path. For example, select this shape, go to gradient fill. Let's use one more color here, and this time we will use kind of blue here. So we've used this color. So now what will happen when we will select the path gradient is this gradient will follow the path of the shape. Now let's fill the same color in all the shapes to get the output, and you can see it is following the path. So that's how it behaves. And if you remove one of the gradient, and it will look something like this. And you can also add to see what will happen. So that's how you can play with it and do much more with it. So I hope you have learned the gradient types and fill, and how you can adjust the gradients and how you can use them in the shapes. So if you really like this video, so please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, join the membership and support us. And we will see you guys in our next video with something more innovative. So till then, bye bye.